Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. It's spoiler time for Foundations. Even though most of them are probably reprints, we might find a nugget or two, or we may get surprised by some of these reprints we've been seeing because they're just, woof, boy, standard's going to be wild. Anyway, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The comments down below will feed the YouTube algorithm, yada yada. Keep it sponsor free. Still look for ShamWow. You know the drill. And if you don't, watch another video sometime, damn it. Anyway, time to look at Foundations and all the stuff that's coming out of it. Links in the description. Ha, gotcha. So let's get into it. So we have, first off, Goblin Negotiation. That's right. We have a red, and X sorcery. It deals X damage to target creature. Then you create 1/1 red goblin creature tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to the creature this way. My first thought was, holy, and then I realized if they don't have a creature or somebody doesn't have a creature for you to shoot, this is just going to sit in your hand and be dumb. So, I don't think it's as good as we think it's going to be. So, still, in Commander, this is going to make somebody's day very bad. Very, very bad. So, next we have a Braid. Yeah, if you don't know what this is, you ain't played Magic very long. So this is a Braid, 3 damage to a creature, or you can shatter an artifact. Destroy it, whatever. Shatter for you, old fogies. Get off my yard. Anyway, so yep, that's going to be one of the parallel removal cards coming up. We have a new one. We have Needle Feather Great Worm, because every worm should have feathers. Sounds like a furry reference. Anyway, 2 green and 4 for a worm that tramples. Oh my god, I got to stop. It's 7/7 for 6, already good. This thing is a mythic, though, so it's got a bonus. During your turn, whenever a creature, not this one, a creature you control deals combat damage, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Notice it doesn't say player. It's just if it does damage. Now, granted, as it says here, it must stay on the field. However, this and Doubling Season, which is being reprinted, is going to be dumb. So, yeah. It also says you may cast this card, as in the worm, from the graveyard by removing a total of 6 counters from creatures you control in addition to paying its other costs. So 6 mana plus 6 counters and you get a big worm. This thing's also not legendary, which means, Jesus Christ, there could be more than one on the battlefield at a time. This is going to be ugly if green is a thing. However, I think the combo decks are probably going to outpace this 6-drop. Just saying. So, next we have a wide assortment of reprints. We have Meteor Golem, Cure, the Rising Tide is here. A blue and 2 for a 3/2 that when it enters, you draw 2 cards and discard 2. Not terrible. But also for Threshold, whenever she attacks, if there's 7 more cards in your graveyard, you may create a Scion of the Deep, which is an 8/8 legendary blue octopus creature token to start your anime tentacle progression. Anyway, I don't know about you, but I would play 4 of these and swing and let them block it to make an 8/8. Just putting it out there. Next, we have the Dragon Tamer. 5 mana for a 1/1. Ooh, what a bargain. When it enters, you get to create a 4/4 dragon. It's fine. It's a sealed card. We have Preposterous Proportions. 7 mana. Creatures you control get +10/+10 and Vigilance. Because, yeah, all these squirrels, everyone's always looking for a nut. Anyway, again, probably another great card for Limited. God forbid anybody get hit by that. Anyway, at least it ain't Trample. Moving on, we have Krinko Mob Boss reprinted in this sweet art. For those of you who don't know, Krinko's a 3/3 for 2 red and 2. And also, you tap in to make X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, where X is the number of goblins you control, which is always going to be at least 1 because, spoiler alert, Krinko's a goblin. But yeah, so this is going to be in standard, which is going to be awful. Next, we have a reprint of Genesis Wave, because, yeah, when I first watched this, I thought his head was missing. Anyway, 3 green and X, reveal top X cards of your library. You may put any number of permanent cards, mana value X or less from among them on the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield into your graveyard. If there is a green mana ramp deck, this is going to be absurd. For any of you who played when Genesis Wave was a thing, it was awful. So, but then again, so is almost every reprint. Apparently, they're going to make standard. They're going to make Legacy and Limited, not Legacy. Yeah, Legacy. They're going to make Legacy and Modern great again by making it standard legal, apparently. So, next we have some other reprints. We have the Authority of the Councils. We have the Dauntless Veteran. 2/2, whenever it attacks, creatures you control +1/+1 end of turn. This is a great card for standard, although it is 3. You get 2 or 3 of these on a field and swing. It's woof, woof. Ruby the Darling Tracker is back. And, of course, we have one of the best rocks. 3 colorless. I forget what it's called exactly because I've slept since I did this the video before I filmed it. But anyway, 3 colorless. It taps for any color you want. Or, I'm sorry, it taps for the color you name when it comes into play. And creatures of that color get +1/+0. Really good card and busted in limited. Okay, so next we have a couple interesting ones. We have the Dreadwing Scavenger. Black, blue, and 1 for a 2/2 flyer. When it enters or attacks, draw a card and discard. Pretty sweet. At threshold, this creature gets +1/+1 and has Death Touch as long as there are 7 more cards in your graveyard. So, I mean, the threshold's a nice bonus. Really, what I'm down for is the 2/2 flyer that lets you draw and discard by swinging in the air where it can't be blocked most of the times. Yeah, seems good. Next, we have the Abyssal Harvester, 2 black and 1 for a 3/2 Demon Warlock, because I didn't know demons could cast spells. I thought it was natural. Maybe they need to read a book, even though this guy has no eyeballs. Anyway, tap, exile target creature card from a graveyard that was put there this turn. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a nightmare in addition to other types. Then exile all other nightmare tokens you control. Yeah, this is going to be busted as hell. For all those animation decks who want to put big fat nappies in their graveyard, and you're like, oh, that's nice, give me that. So, yeah, but what big things did he put in the graveyard? Oh, yeah, they reprinted Runescarred Demon. This monstrosity. Or the Green Worm. Big worm. Anyway, yeah, Runescarred Demon, 2 black and 5 flying. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Nothing like a 6/6 flying demon that lets you demonic tutor. Also heard it's really good when you reanimate it for half the cost. Just saying. God, standard's going to be a shit show. Anyway. Moving on, we have the Pendant of Greed, 2 colorless artifact. For 1 and tapping it, you can sacrifice a creature to draw a card and put a spirit counter on this. For 4 and tapping, sacrifice this artifact. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of spirit counters on the artifact. This is interesting at best. Just my opinion. Moving on. Next we have Bolt Weave. So, this is a thing. For those of you who played Modern ever, this is a new lava spike for Standard. 1 red, 3 damage to each opponent. I've got 1 opponent. Oh, bolt your face. For those of you who don't know or haven't played Modern very much, a lot of the lot of the red direct damage deck has been reprinted into Standard, and I'm not sure that's a good idea. However, with some of the other cards they've printed, I'm not sure it's a bad one either. But either way, this is going to be huge. This is going to see Modern play along with Standard play. So if you get one of these as a foil, you better put that away somewhere. It's going to be worth like $10 soon, if it isn't already. Moving on. So next we have a couple more reprints. We have Zamoni, the Paradoxical Sculptor, blue-green 2 for a 1/4. You can combat your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Did I mention doubling seasons in the set? Anyway, green and blue, tap, double a number of counters of each kind of counter on up to 2 target creatures and or artifacts you control. Have I mentioned that doubling seasons in the set? Anyway, next we have Blasphemous Edict, 2 black and 3. You may pay 1 black rather than pay its cost if there are 13 creatures on the battlefield. Each player sacrifices 13 creatures. The perfect card for that token guy who wants to, kill you. However, the magic number of 13 can sometimes be a challenge at sorcery speed. Just saying. Flamewake Phoenix gets a reprint, and nobody probably cares, except for the mono red decks. But still, I don't know if this is good enough. We have Exsanguinate. Reprint. I mean, it's fine. Each opponent loses X life. You gain life. You go to life lost this way. I mean, something for a commander, I guess. I mean, if you want the whole table to kill you. But anyway, it is what it is. I mean, I don't think it's going to see a whole lot of play. It's not like they're bringing back Drain Life. Or are they? Anyway, moving on. So, here's the next set. We have Raise the Past. 2 white and 2. Return all creature cards, mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, that doesn't seem like it's busted at all. 1,000-Year Storm is back in case anybody wanted to play a Storm deck. Because, I mean, I guess anything goes now. Brass's Bounty got reprinted. Reach lands you control, create a treasure token. This is mediocre at best. Because it's, I mean, for 1, it's 7 mana, and for 2, it's just probably a commander card at best. Because if you get to 7 mana in any format, including standard, you got way better things to be doing than this. We have Sylvan Scavenging, 2 green and 1 enchantment. This one's very interesting. At the beginning of your end step, choose one, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or create a 3/3 green raccoon token if you control a creature power 4 or greater. Interesting. Counter thing's kind of cool. Have I mentioned Doubling Season has been printed in the set? Anyway, I'll stop now. Sorry. Very interesting cards there. So that's what we got today for the spoiler. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Till next time, be kind. Almost a weekend, and I hope to see you across from the game table.